Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Pueblo Coin, and today I have an open box video for you from PCGS. Before we get started, just a reminder that we do have both memberships and you can always like and share, but also any coins that are still available by the time this video hits the airwaves. You can always look in the show notes and see if the coin's available. We'll have a link to it there. Also, there's a link there to our different memberships. If you enjoy the content and you feel like you're learning something for a few bucks a month, consider joining one of our clubs. And we actually have one that has a little extra content provided, so it's kind of fun. Now on with the show, the really big shoe. So 1872 Indian head cent. Now most of these guys, if you collect Indians, you know once you get into the 60s and 70s, you're kind of getting into the tough area. 1872, one of the tougher dates from the 70s, and this coin here has a decent amount of detail to it. You can see a lot of the feathers, and you can see much of the Liberty, but not all of the Liberty. Same thing once you get to the reverse. On the reverse, sometimes the strike differential on these guys you can kind of get a sense for, but sometimes it's kind of hard. The shield itself has usually a decent indicator because those don't come as weakly struck as, say, some of the wreath design, and oftentimes the 1 cent's pretty strong. So this coin came back a fine 15, which I think is a nice grade for the coin. Overall, it's a coin that's going to be worth $250. For those of you keeping track at home, this was sent in on their normal service, their standard service, and it did take about 7 weeks. So it's kind of hit and miss as far as whether or not they are quick. I've had some stuff come back. Well, I just say some of the standard stuff has been coming back the same rate as the economy stuff. Everything's been taken like that 6, 7, 8 week mark. But I've had a couple things come back pretty quick relative to what it was. It's not the 3-month wait that it used to be. Next up, a really cool coin, this 1854 New Orleans mint coin, which the O just kind of blends in there almost at a glance. From this angle, you don't even hardly notice it. Nice big O. I don't see a whole lot in the way of New Orleans gold. And this coin I really liked. I thought it was a really nice coin. It does have indications of cleaning to it. It's a little bit bright. And the reason I still send it in is because overall it still has a scarcity level. It still has a nice grade to it. And I'll be honest with you on this one. I may consider cracking it. I'm sending it to NGC just for a shot. Worst case scenario, it still comes back XF details cleaned. There's different date varieties. This is actually the small date, which, if you look at it at first, you're like, that date's pretty strong or big, but the large date's actually much larger than that. So there's a couple reasons why I might crack this out and send it in to NGC. First of all, I've handled so much gold from this time period that has a light essence of cleaning to it. It's just bright. That came back straight graded. That I would consider just giving it one more shot, right? Because the coin is pretty scarce. I mean, a nice XF coin is, well, a straight grade nice XF I think is probably close to $2,000 in the marketplace, and like this, it's probably 12 or 1300. But also, this is where someone's going to actually say, well, Ben, you're kind of an idiot, but gosh, guys. I think you can get a straight AU50 out of this coin. I really do. I mean, you look at the detail on the coin, and it's just, it's AU-ish. Okay, I'm just gonna go down that route and say that it's AU-ish. Let me see what we got next here, because we've got a couple things I need to make a decision on who's next and why. All right, so I actually have two of the same here. Some more New Orleans mint coins. These two 92 O mint, and they're both pretty nice. The question is whether you think one is nicer than the other. So both of these coins have a pretty decent strike, and they're really, really, really borderline coins. And what I mean by that is, you know, they definitely have some breaks in the luster here up front. And once again, I've handled coins like this that came back mint state 60. This one came back in AU 58. Let's see if you like this one better than the second one. Does this one have more complete luster to it, or does the first one? And this one is kind of cool because it has just a touch of, I don't know, that PL to the field. It's really got a nice look to it. Had a little carbon spot there by the A and M in America, which doesn't bother me at all. So this one I actually thought may come back in MS60 because I think it's just a hair nicer. This one also came back in AU58. Both these coins are in the maybe $1,200 range, and I say that with a question mark in my voice because I'm like, you know, I can only remember so many things at a time, and sometimes when you're not doing things the right way, you just forget these things. So, by the way, there's 1892s mintage in the 26,000 range, so pretty scarce. And last but not least, another $10 gold piece, which is going to be something that we'll take a closer look at and is quite unique to me, in that I'm going to say something here that's going to blow your doors off. But this coin I sent in because I thought it was a nice uncirculated coin. So you really want those beautiful whirlpools of luster on the coin, which is nice. And then you've got a few contact marks kind of spread across here. But overall, a real nice BU coin. And I sent it in just because I thought, well, it's a lot easier to sell this coin certified than uncertified. You know, that just still is generally the case on a coin in this price range. So mint state 64, which is, you know, interesting because I thought that it was, I thought this was a 63, and you know, it's interesting to me because I still think that you know, it has more of the qualities of a 63 with the, you know, all the breaks in the luster in front of the field and the contact marks. The backside here, so this is what, you know, you want it to look kind of like this, that kind of clean, but it just has a lot of stuff going on in the front. And so this guy in this condition is probably going to be, I think, like $1,700 to $2,000 range, whereas a 63 is probably more like $1,200. So it's a big jump. So occasionally people use the term that they threw you a bone. I mean, that's kind of a phrase. I use terms that I think are phrases. They're just phrases that people used to use that nobody really uses anymore but me. So they threw me a bone on this one, guys. I think I would have called that a 63. So leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.